Hello and welcome to the extra mile with Whitewater Freight. Our plan was to start this video series, and we thought it would be a lot of fun, and we thought it'd be entertaining, and we thought it'd be information providing and informative. I probably should have said informative. Um, our mission was we just wanted to make connections with people and help people in whatever ways that we possibly could, whether it's laughter, whether it is um, helping process anything. Uh, our mission has always been to kind of be of service to people, whether it be customer service or you know humanity. And what they say about plans is everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. I think that was Mike Tyson. So I've been a little bit delayed. And on this episode of The Extra Mile, I want to talk about another quote that is one of my favorites. I saw John Maxwell in Las Vegas, I don't know how many years ago. Everything kind of blurs anymore. But he said something that impacted me greatly. He said, an inheritance is what you leave to people, and a legacy is what you leave in them. So if I had an inheritance of these 5 grapefruit water drops and I left them to you, you would have 5 grapefruit water drops. But if instead I told you how to make the grapefruit water drops and why they are important and why water is important and why hydration is important, and I was able to connect with you in such a way that helped to change the trajectory of your life. That's a legacy because that's something that you leave in someone. And that always was impactful to me. I always thought, wow, that's a thought. It's one of the reasons why I've read so many of the guy's books. And so we got punched in the face recently. Um, and we're going to talk about legacy. My mom has been battling cancer for 2 years. She's actually had it several other times in her life, but the big battle that she had was for the last 2 years. And on Christmas Eve, we took her to the emergency room, and we spent uh, Christmas Eve in the emergency room, and we spent Christmas Day in the emergency room. And luckily, here in Cincinnati, Ohio, it was like negative 11 below zero, and we had this huge snowstorm, and we couldn't get her in any place else. And finally, on the 26th, she was moved to Harrison Trails, and was put with hospice care. And we spent uh, every moment with her. She had care around the clock with all of us. Um, Somehow, I'm not sure how, we found time to have moments of laughter. Like, I'm, there was just this one moment where both her and I just erupted in laughter. We had no idea why we were laughing. And we had many moments of tears. And there was moments where she just looked at all of us and she said, "It's okay. It's okay." And then the hospice nurse uh, told me that I needed to let her know that it was okay, which I think is by large and far one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life because I really didn't feel okay. But I didn't want her to have that pressure going forward. So let's talk about legacy for a minute because this company is her legacy. But it's not just this company. Um, when I was 14 years old, I was a snot-nosed kid. Oh my gosh, I was a snot-nosed kid. I'm probably still a snot-nosed adult, honestly. But I was a snot-nosed kid. I was riding along in the car with her, and I probably saw it on a movie, or I had a friend that saw it on a movie, or somebody implanted this idea in my head that, and I told her, I said, when I grow up, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get ahead in life, and if I have to step on people and push them out of my way, that's what I'm gonna do. And she slapped me as hard as she could. Not with her hand. She wasn't like that. She just started crying. And I was like, "What?" And she said, "I didn't raise you like that. Did not raise you like that. And that is not who you should be." My mom and dad exemplified living their lives for other people. They built this company and they never took much from it. They always said that we have a company that exists for helping people, to provide jobs for people, to provide a living for people, to provide a safe place for people to work, to provide insurance, to provide a way for people to take care of their families. That's what their thought process was on creating a company. In addition to that, their free time, they spent the summers tending like an acre garden, acre and a half. Like it eventually got to the point where my dad had this John Deere. I'm talking like this huge John Deere, um, and would till it and do all this stuff. And then I remember one year I helped him pick 3,500 pounds of potatoes, which is back breaking. I mean, it was insane. And my mom did this up till she was 72 years old. And they would take some of the food, they would freeze it, and they would keep it. And then others, they had um, food pantries that they had agreements with. And so that they were always providing food for people that needed food. In addition to that, they adopted and sponsored kids all over the world. They would get letters all the time. They would read the letters. They would have to get somebody that would be able to read Spanish or read whatever language, and they would find somebody, and that would translate them for that, and then they would dictate a letter back, um, and send items back and forth, and it was very special. In addition to that, they helped build housing in different countries. They helped any place that there was emergency situations going on. Um, they were always involved in charities. Um, One of the last things that she was able to do was to help build two churches down in Guatemala. And this is who our company came from. This is my mom's legacy. This is the legacy that she built and developed. And I am so incredibly thankful and grateful that I had her, and I still have her. I just have a large hole in my heart. And that hole can be filled with her legacy. So moving forward, as Whitewater Freight, even though plans sometimes fail, missions don't. Missions don't fail. Missions just get rearranged and, have new plans made up. And sometimes those plans fail. And we come up with new plans. But our mission is and always remains the same. We want to be a freight company because that's what we know and it's what we're good at. That's what we do. But we want to be more than that. We want to be a company that is always outward focused, is always helping people, whether it be through charity or just the basic humanity of dealing with each other. The fact that this is business, but people do business. And if people do business, that means that there are people that are struggling. There are people that are just trying to do their best to get by. There are people that need a laugh. There are people that need a friend. There are people that need connection. And that's, again, why our emails have always been set up the way they've been set up. It's why we started this whole extra mile thing. And that's who we are as a company, and that is the legacy that she has left in me and in the company and countless people that she's touched their lives. We try to always be transparent with what's going on in our company and what's going on with people's lives, because another thing that she taught me was no matter what you're going through, no matter how bad it is or how bad it seems, it can be used for something good. Because if you're dealing with it, it means somebody else is dealing with it. This Christmas was we still had my mom, but it wasn't our Christmas. We spent it at the hospital, and we all knew that things were drastically different. A lot of people, the holidays, as much as I love the holidays, and that will not change because I will continue to celebrate her and all that she's done. As much as I love the holidays are very hard for a lot of people because a lot of people, it's their first holiday alone. It's their first holiday without a loved one. It's their first holiday where something in their life has changed. And we sent out an email about that because we've been going through that. And the outpouring from people was amazing. From people saying that they've been through similar situations, people saying that this helped them go through this. I mean, our team members are wonderful, and so is everyone that we deal with. I was trying to make this as short as possible, and I apologize. If you made it this far, let me know. But I was talking to my therapist, and daggone it, if you don't have a therapist, get a therapist, because therapists are great. Mental health is something that's very important. I was talking to my therapist, and I told her, I was like, my mom, it's not just my mom. I worked with her every day for 30 years. I mean, she's not just my mom. She was that and so much more. And when I would fall down when I was young, she would pick me up. And when I would screw up in my teenage years, she would pick me up. And when life was hard in my 20s and 30s and gosh, 40s, she was there. And I said, now she's not. And my therapist said, it feels like you're the only adult left in the room. And my God, that hit me. Like, yeah, like I feel like I'm looking around and I'm the only adult left and I'm responsible for everything. And I have this crushing weight on me. And then I had a meeting and a meeting and a meeting and a meeting and a meeting with our team members. And then we sent out some emails. And I realized that, wow, I'm really not the only adult left in the room. I am surrounded by some seriously amazing people that I am very grateful and very blessed to be surrounded by. So if you've made it through this video or even half the video or a quarter of the video, or if you just didn't unsubscribe, or if you didn't hit some sort of dislike button or anything like that, you know what? Thank you. Everything that everyone has done for us over the last 30 years has meant so very much. And we still have the same mission. We got punched, but we're going to keep going. And I am very proud to carry on my mom's legacy. We are providing some information on the arrangements. Please feel no obligation for anything. We've just been asked a lot of times what the arrangements are. Um, I don't even know how this stuff works. We went to the funeral home yesterday, and it's like it kind of comes and goes in waves where it's like, okay, all right, I'm good, I'm good. And it's like, oh, do you want to walk through the funeral home and see where the layout's gonna be? And I like took 2 steps in the door, and turned right back around and walked out, and just about fell on the floor. But yeah, there's a layout this Friday, and the funeral's on Saturday, and I will have a link with information there. Um, for anybody that wants to write on the internet wall or anything like that. Um, but this is the extra mile, and this is Whitewater Freight continuing our mission, and we just want to say thank you. Um, thank you for who you are and everything that you've helped us do. And thank you for everything that you've helped my mom do. Um, I never know how to end these things, so I'm just going to say goodbye now, and thank you.